Hello! So today I'm going to be talking about what John Travolta taught me. So if you're a John Travolta fan, just like I am, stay tuned. And also while I'm talking about that, I'm going to be just doing my everyday makeup, no makeup look with healthy beauty products. So we're going to have a little beauty health and a little bit of mind health. So if you love John Travolta just as much as I do and you want to hear about what he taught me, then stay tuned because I'm going to talk about that for like the next, 5 minutes. So back in February, I went to Grant Cardone's 10X Growth Con in Florida in Mandalay Bay Resort, and it was absolutely amazing. And one of the surprise speakers he has was John Travolta. I was freaking out. Like, I love John Travolta so much. And I didn't know he was going to speak. So Grant was like talking about this famous person and he's an actor. He's super accomplished, #1 actor. And then he started playing like a Grease song or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's John Travolta. And I was freaking out. And so then John Travolta came out and so amazing. Like, I don't know, #goals with like being like the best in your field. That's incredible. And some of the things that John Travolta was talking about, one, he is like so chill. Like his demeanor, he was just like the most chill person ever. I wasn't expecting that. And the first thing that he said so I'm like reading off literally from just my notes that I took. And one of the first things he said was to suffer through being patient. So I think that's really interesting because I'm very impatient. And sometimes when we want to have results, we want to have success, we are not patient. So he said, suffer through being patient. I also learned from him that he said, sometimes integrity is more important than doing the next big thing. Like, oh, the next big thing is to do blah, but that doesn't really resonate with you well or whatever, then you shouldn't do it because you don't want to go out integrity. And then he also said, every time you do something you don't quite agree with, you chip away at your integrity. So a lot of his speech was about staying true to yourself, staying true to your goals, and just like really sticking to what you know to be right. And then he also said, when you're trying to come up with something, you should like do your homework and decide on this data and knowledge. So you should like do your homework and look into things before you just decide to do them. And then he also said to never assume, like basically never make an ass of you and me. Never assume something, like do your homework and learn about things before you do them. This is a green thing. Okay, and then he said, it's okay. Okay, this is like money right here. He said, it's okay to be the most important person in the world as far as everyone else is just as important. Like that is quote of the day. And he said that he doesn't think that franticness has anything to do in business. So you should really be patient, be chill, work things out, but you cannot be frantic about things. And he said the only crime is to not have money because it aids survival and strengthens your weaknesses. So money is important, people. Gotta love money, gotta work for money, gotta make that money. Another thing he said is that everyone should be rich. He believes that everybody should be rich and everybody should have money. And then he also said the biggest lie is that artists shouldn't focus on money. So that's coming from John Travolta, #1 actor in the world, that artists should focus on money. It's okay to be an artist and share your art and be passionate and have a message and still focus on money. Another thing he said is that the money comes if you do the right thing. Basically, if you're not shady. So if you're shady, money's not going to come your way. And another thing he says is if you are planting seeds, let it cost you, but otherwise get fair exchange. So when you're doing a deal with someone or you're trying to buy something or sell something, like make sure that it's fair exchange. It's okay to ask for what you're worth and what your work is worth and whatever it is that you're doing. But if you're like planting seeds, so like if you're trying to do something for the sake of this is going to pay off later, like I'm going to get like a good partnership from this or anything like that. It's okay for it to cost you, you know, to only make sure you have exchange if it's like business as usual. Another thing he said is, if it feels weird, keep getting information until you know for sure. So if you're looking at doing something and it's just something about it feels weird, then just keep getting more information until you feel good about it. And if it still feels weird, don't do it. Stick to your integrity. And another thing he said is always look at the cup half full. Always look at the positive. That's a no-brainer, right? And then he said that he didn't finish high school. This is an interesting story that I didn't know about John Travolta. He never finished high school. At 16, he made a deal with his dad. And he was like, Dad, I want to make it in the acting industry. And he basically quit high school and went and did acting. And then his dad was like, you have 1 year to make a living out of this. And if you don't make a living, then you go back, you finish your GED, and you go to school like everyone else. So John, for that year, was like going crazy trying to make acting work. And he did. At 16, a year later, he was making a living as an actor. And I have like a couple more points, but that's all I'm going to do right now. So if you want to hear the other points that I learned from John Travolta, just message me and I will message that to you. And otherwise, have an amazing day and keep hustling, keep it healthy, keep it positive. Bye.